Hello everyone, we are the Verdant group and today we are evaluating the environmental sustainability of a global titan, Amazon's logistics department. My name is Cynthia and I'll be introducing our scope and the central governing framework of Amazon's green transformation. To understand Amazon, we must understand its scale. They ship over 1,000 packages per minute. This isn't just retail, it's a global infrastructure challenge. We are evaluating how Amazon applies international logistics theory to decouple their massive growth from the environmental impacts, specifically in the middle and last mile. At the heart of this is the climate pledge. Amazon aims for net zero carbon by 2040, a full decade ahead of the Paris Agreement. They've already reached a 100% renewable energy match for their global operations. However, as we will see, business growth will still push absolute emissions up to 6% last year. Now, Akim will walk us through the specific mechanisms they use to enforce eco-friendly behaviors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to talk about the next slide, which is eco-friendly mechanisms. So this ensures logistics green through three pillars. Firstly, the utilities infrastructure. They have 621 renewable projects representing 34 gigawatts of capacity. Secondly, we have the standard. They have updated supply chain requirement, forcing supplier who represents 74% of footprints to set a credible carbon target. Finally, the hardware efficiency at AWS has driven PUE rating down to 1.15 for beating the industry average. Okay, in the next slide, I'm going to talk about the circularity and waste reduction. Waste is a logistic cost. Amazon shipping product packaging program now handling 12% of orders, eliminating the box inside a box problem. In 2024, they removed plastic hair pillows globally, switching to 100% recycled paper. Through these hoops, they have achieved 85% of landfill diversion rates. I will now hand over the next slide to Brian to discuss about the critical last mile clarification.
Thank you, Akim. Now let's talk about the last mile. This is the final part of journey where the package actually reach your house. Because it's happened in our neighborhood, it is the most visual part of Amazon footprint. To clear this up, Amazon partnered with a company called Verdant to build custom electric vans. So far, they have over 31,000 of these vans on the road. Last year, they delivered 1.5 billion packages using electricity instead of gas. Their bigger goal is to have 100,000 of test vehicles running by 2030. This doesn't just cut carbon, it also makes our street much quicker and the air much clearer to breathe. However, big vans don't always walk in crowded cities like London or Paris, where the streets are narrow and traffic is heavy. For that area, Amazon is using micro-mobility hub instead of vans. They use electric cargo bike and moped. That small vehicle have already delivered 170 million packages. Amazon also use AI to plan the smartest routes, which have cut down the density drivers have to travel by about 30%. It is a great example of how going small can actually be more efficiency for the planet. Now, let Verdant explain how they handle the much bigger truck in the middle mile.
Thank you, Brian. The middle mile. Moving heavy trailers is the hardest to abate. Amazon is investing 1 billion euros in Europe to electrify the network, starting with over 200 Mercedes-Benz heavy truck. They are not just buying the truck, they are building the grid and installing 360 kilowatt fast chargers that can juice up a semi-truck in just 1 hour. Multimodal connectivity. A key strategy in shifting away from air freight. Amazon moved 90% of transoceanic import by sea in 2024. In Europe, They increased rail volume by 59%. For the necessary air legs, they use sustainable aviation fuel certificate via the book and claim system, allowing them to support green fuel even when it is not physically at the airport. Blaze, we now conclude with the financial results and our final recommendation.
Thanks, Abiodun. I'll wrap up with the financial impact and the path forward. So the big question remains, is Amazon's greening strategy just good PR? No, it is a strategic cost driver. Compared to fuel engines, electric vehicles deliver around 80% savings in fuel costs and require 70% less maintenance because they have fewer moving parts. Furthermore, our research into Amazon's Sequoia Robotics shows a 25% reduction in delivery costs through automation and operational efficiency. To move from net zero ambition to absolute zero, we recommend these. First, Amazon should make eco delivery the default option even if it's slightly slower. Adopt absolute emission caps, not just carbon intensity targets. Tighten supplier governance by embedding sustainability into procurement and Incoterms, especially for Scope 3 emissions. And finally, expand circularity within AWS by scaling hardware reuse and responsible assets lifecycle management. Amazon's growth paradox shows that efficiency improvements alone are not enough. Structural modal shifts are highly required. In conclusion, Amazon shows green logistics can be a true competitive advantage. Even though total emissions are still a challenge, the data proves profitability and decarbonization can go together.
Decarbonization is not just a cost, it's a source of long-term strategic advantage.